So we're out at my parents' Airbnb this morning. Unfortunately, they've got to have a giant, beautiful white oak tree taken down. I've shown you guys this property in the past, but that was probably a year or two ago. So in case you missed it, I'll flip the camera around and show you again. So this is my parents' Airbnb. It used to be my grandmother's house until she passed away, and they have some slammer trees here. There's a nice, beautiful oak tree, probably every bit of 30, 36 inches at the base there. This is on Conneaut Lake in Pennsylvania. They are right on the lake. And a lot of these trees are very old, have been here since before my grandmother was here. But this is kind of the front yard, and they live up on a hill overlooking the lake. They do have lakefront access with a dock, or lakefront property with a dock. So if anybody's interested in renting it, bring your boat. There's dock space there. They keep their pontoon boat here. But as you look out through, I mean, probably 36-inch poplar, 30-inch white oak, a couple other white oaks. There's a cherry, just some very big trees. And ever since I've gotten the sawmill, every time I come out here, I always say, if any of these trees ever needed to go, I want to save the butt logs and bring them back for the sawmill. And today we've got one that needs to go. So this white oak tree, as you can see, pretty tall, huge canopy, but is starting to encroach on the deck here and is growing into it. And you can see we've actually already in the past taken a sawzall and cut around the top of that railing there to allow the tree to continue to get bigger. And we've known for years at some point it's gonna have to come down, and we don't really want to continue cutting away at the deck. So unfortunately this one has to go, but that's gonna be good for us because we will take, there's probably 2 butt logs in there, you know, down at the base, right there, and then up at the first crotch there, we'll get 2 nice saw logs. And I mean, white oak is a very desirable species right now. If you look at lumber prices and species prices and stuff. Plus we like using white oak because it's pretty good for using outdoors, very rot resistant and bug resistant. So what we're gonna have the tree guys do is they're actually going to chip all of the top. I'm gonna have them leave just kind of some of the bigger branches and just stack them up here, and we will cut them up for firewood. We'll bring the Easton made axis out. I've got my dump trailer parked across the street. They're gonna bring a skid loader and they'll load the butt logs into the dump trailer. I'll take those home. So I'll get some nice white oak lumber from this job. My parents will get some firewood for the Airbnb. I've brought all of this firewood out. I pretty much keep the Airbnb stocked with firewood so that they can have that as a selling feature. Normally we've got all kinds of patio furniture and a fire pit and, you know, Adirondack chairs around the fire pit, but we had to get all that cleared out to make room for the tree guys, and they should be here in the next couple minutes or so. All right, so we're here with Dwayne, the owner of Copeland Family Tree Service. Dwayne, with this tree being here on the back side of the house closest to the lake, what's your guys' plan of attack and all the rigging that you're gonna use to get this tree out of here safely without damaging the house?
Yeah, so we went ahead and set a secondary rig point in this hickory tree, right around 55 foot tall, because we don't need it to take down really any of the limbs on this tree. So we'll end up shooting to the very top of this tree, find a good rig point, set our main rigging line, and we'll rig off all of these limbs, starting with this bigger one where the drop zone's gonna be, just to open it up. And then we'll rig off in smaller chunks all the limbs over top of the roof so that they swing over into the opening. Setting up a secondary rigging line when it comes to taking big logs off over top of a house or a deck or even the patio here it's a second precaution just to make sure a log doesn't get free and take out the house or the deck or come crashing down on the patio and stuff. So we're gonna take stuff off. I do take stuff big.
Yeah.
We are from the East Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should go pretty smooth and pretty quick here.
Now I see you got a couple of ratchet straps around the base of that tree. From my knowledge of taking trees down, that would be to keep a tree from barber chairing. But if you're whittling it down, you're not really going to be cutting the whole tree down in one fell swoop.
So those ratchet straps have a bollard attached to the tree, which is a lowering device. So you take wraps with your rope on it, and when the weight of the limb catches, because if we take an 800-pound limb, a man's not going to be able to hold that, so you put wraps on that.
Gotcha.
That way you can control its descent.
Gotcha. All right, well, I won't hold you guys up anymore. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys take this thing down. It's a big tree. All right, so the big white oak tree is down. Here is the butt log, and I took a measurement on this. It is 27 inches on the big end and 26 inches on the small end. So pretty darn straight. That's gonna make a really nice saw log. The only problem is on a log weight calculator, I measured that. It's about 11 feet long. That log right there weighs roughly 4,200 pounds. And obviously their little 3.5 ton mini they had here wasn't gonna be able to pick this up. So I'm faced with cutting it in half and probably bringing the tractor out here to load it half by half, unless somebody else out there has any better ideas on how to get this in my dump trailer and get it home. But then my parents got a good little bit of white oak firewood. Almost be ashamed to burn this in the fire pit because this would be great heating wood. But like I said, this is their Airbnb and they like to offer that as amenity. Once they get all this cleaned up here, they'll get the fire pit and Adirondack chairs back out. I'll probably end up bringing my Eastimate Axis out here and helping them get all this split up and stacked for the renters. So we mentioned the butt log was 27 and 26 inches wide there, but the very butt of the tree at the stump I measured, this was 37 inches in diameter. That's a heck of a stump there. And right there you can see is where we had notched out the railing to make room for it, to give us another couple years with it before inevitably it was just too close to the house, too close to the porch. We need to have it taken down. They did also cut a couple of these 4 and 5 inch thick cookies. These are all right in that 25, 26, 27 inch range. I think I foresee some future laser engraving projects with these. I'll end up needing to mill them down a little bit more. I'll probably put them on the sawmill and cut them maybe an inch thick or 2 inches thick, something like that, because right now they'd be too heavy to do anything with. Too heavy to ship to anybody, too heavy to hang on a wall. So we'll get those home and get them cut down. Let me take you down to the dump trailer and show you what we're taking home today. So these were a little further up in the tree and they've got some big branches and knots and crotches and stuff like that, but they were still decent enough. I thought they might be interesting to throw in the sawmill. And then over right here, this is the actual stump. So right down there at the base, that's that 37 inch diameter that we were looking at. So I figured that'd be worth throwing on the sawmill too and just seeing what it looks like. You never know, might get something nice out of these.